Hello and welcome to Embrace Behavior Change, the place where overwhelmed parents can find relief and learn to parent with a greater sense of ease. You know, I've been married almost 23 years, and I have to confess, when I first got married, I would tattletale on my husband to my mom. I would say things like, "Mom, you should see the gift he bought me. That's not what I wanted." So she would say, "Well, did you tell him what you wanted?" And of course, I answered back, "No." And she'd say, "He's not a mind reader." And this would happen over and over again. Finally, I decided to stop telling my mom because I knew what she was going to say. But eventually, I started to take her advice and tell him what I wanted. And what I realized is many times all I had to do was ask. I didn't even have to come up with a big speech. He just simply said, "Oh, okay, I'll do it." And so today I want to talk to you about how to make a request without disturbing the peace. Now, I know sometimes we are afraid to make a request because we're afraid what might come out of our mouth because we're irritated and we might say it in the wrong way, which might disturb the peace. There are other times that we're worried about the other parent's behavior. Will they respond? Will they reject our idea? So what I want to do is walk you through a few steps. And I'm going to share with you a story that someone sent in to me. She called herself Frustrated Mom. And this mom says that I woke up in a good mood. I did my morning routine. I was feeling good. And then realized my daughter had a fever. And so she said she had to stay at home, cancel her plans, reschedule certain meetings. And she wants to know, why is it that all moms always have to sacrifice? Well, I want to say, first of all, we don't always have to sacrifice. Sometimes we don't ask for what we want or what we need, so we end up sacrificing. And so I want to walk us through some steps that this mom can take to at least approach this situation and see what the outcome can be. Perhaps it might not be totally what she wants, but I'm sure, I know this mom, she's in a loving relationship, that there might be something that they can come up with and compromise. So here's step number one. First, sit down and figure out what you want. It's clear that she wants some help. She wants to be able to depend on her spouse to help out in these times so that she can focus on her work. Secondly, it's important that we recognize, well, what is the deeper thing we're looking for? What is the thing that matters in our relationship with this other parent? And so what I get out of this is that this mom wants partnership. So that is the very thing she needs to focus on. See, by focusing on, oh, I just want help for this situation, may give her help for this situation. But if she can go and tell the other parent that I'm interested in a partnership and I value our partnership, that creates a picture like, I need you all the time to partner with me, not just this incident, okay? So determining what you want, determining what it is that you're really after, the deeper value, and in this case, partnership. Number three, it's nice to go and make a concrete plan so that when you come and you make this request, they have some idea of what you're talking about, what it looks like in your head. So in this case, instead of saying to the father in this situation, that, okay, when your child is sick or has a school field trip, that you do it, then I do it, you do it, then I do it. I think it would be better to just assign months. So you can say in January you do it, the father can do it in February, and on and on and on. This way they know the whole month they're on duty. If there's any emergencies, any field trips, they're on duty. You can then prepare yourself to go for the talk, okay? And this is how you can approach this matter by simply saying something like, you know, I know this mom works from home, so I have a little background information on her. So I want to say, this mom can simply say, you know, I've been growing my business this year and it's really done well. And as I reflected back over the year, I recognized there were times where I missed appointments or had to reschedule things because the kids were sick or I needed to go do a field trip. You know, I value our partnership, and I'm just wondering if we can partner on this responsibility, if we can share this during the year of 2020 and see how it goes. So then this mom can present her plan and simply ask, what do you think about this? If he responds that he's in agreement, then bravo, these steps worked. And if he's not in agreement but wants to change some things, still that's success, because it's at least better than before, and you made a request. So you're also learning that when you make a request, you just might get what you asked for. So now what if the father in this case says no? Well, I simply would suggest that you close the conversation by just saying, you know, our partnership is everything, and I hope you feel like you can rely on me, and I always want to be able to rely on you. So I'm just asking you to consider this. If you can come back to me and tell me of another plan that you might be interested in, I welcome it. Let them know that you want to respect your clients, you want to respect your job, and if you can rely on him in any way, you'd be most grateful. The second thing I want to tell you, and this is where we fall flat, and I say it over and over again, if you can catch someone doing the behavior that you want them to do and you acknowledge it, then they're more likely to pick up some of those other behaviors that you want them to do. So I would highly suggest that if you're the other parent, you want the other parent to do something and they're not ready to do that at that point, you can start looking at other areas in which they do support you and they do support the family. For instance, taking the kids to all the soccer games or football games, whatever the sport is. You can just say, you know what, I appreciate that. And when you do that, I feel like you're supportive. You're so supportive of our family. Thank you. And when you begin to lay those thank yous out for months, then trust me, when you begin to make other requests in the future, they will probably be more apt to say yes. Okay? I want you all to remember that you can create the home environment you want by making one behavior change at a time. I want to challenge you during this month to think about one area that you would like for your spouse or your child's parent to work along with you and be consistent at it. I'm going to put out an article on Wednesday that's going to talk about that. How to make a request to your spouse. Again, I'll go through the steps, but also how to address a particular issue. So maybe you're not on the same page when it comes to disciplining a child. So then I'm going to talk to you, give you a scenario, help you I'll walk it through with you, and then I want you to practice what you're going to do so that you and the other parent can begin to parent on the same page. That is one of the best gifts you can give your child or your children for the year of 2020. I wish you all the best. I'll see you next week. Take care.